Sweeties, how are you all doing? Welcome to Nanyacim. If this is your first time coming across this channel, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for always coming back to watch my video. You all are the bomb. So guys, yeah, it looks like the black men ain't having what a biracial lady said about black men, like, marrying white women for status. Yo, black men ain't having it, and actually they came back to talk about it. All right, sweeties, you're definitely going to go into the video, but stay glued to the screen so you get all the information you need to. All right, so let's go.
So you know how we be kikiing that there's a difference between white mama biracials and black mama biracials, right? You know the focus of this video wasn't even about black men, but as some of them do, they made it about themselves. So much so that for the past 4 days, I have been dealing with harassment, threats, being called a bitch, a bed wench, having pictures posted of me, being told I'm not really black, my family being talked about, all in the hundreds of thousands because I talked about an aspect of history. Okay, black men, since you wanted to make it about you, let's make it about you. In this video, when I said some black men see being with white women as a revolutionary act, that is true. Some of our black actors saw it as that. Some of you guys now see it as that. And some of our black revolutionaries. Sometimes so much to the detriment of themselves, the black community, and black women. And my favorite example of this is Eldridge Cleaver, former Black Panther. Before he was welcomed into the Black Panthers with open arms, he wrote about how he struggled with this. He wrote about how he wanted to covet the white woman so badly to stick to the white man, and how he was going to do that was to go on a graping spree of white women. But guess what he did? In order to perfect his practice of that, he went around graping black women and girls in his community to stick it to the white man. You see how that don't make no fucking sense? You hate the white man so bad, you hate white supremacy so bad that you are going to assault black women. It almost doesn't make as much sense as, I don't know, harassing black women online whenever we talk about misogyny or toxic masculinity or homophobia or patriarchy. It almost doesn't make as much sense as telling everybody that I didn't let you and the homies fuck 5 to 9 years ago when we were in college, or how I didn't reply to your DM 3 years ago. It almost doesn't make as much sense as you being a licensed attorney stalking my Instagram page, posting pictures of me when you got assault charges that we can see the mugshot of. You see, if you took all of that energy, beautiful black men who do this shit, if you took all of that energy into loving and embracing yourself and your blackness and seeing you in the way that we want to see you, we want to be in community with you. But you don't want to be in community with us. So again, if you took all of that energy into loving and embracing yourself, maybe you wouldn't be cosplaying as motherfucking Cinderella to make the shoe fit when I say some black men see being with white women as revolutionary. If you're not a hit dog, why are you hollering?
Why are you hollering? Oh my goodness. All right, let's get into the stitches. Let's see what the men got to tell us. Anyone ready? Definitely me. Here we go.
So you know how we be kikiing that there's a difference between white mama biracials and black mama biracials, right?
I'm starting to stitch off by saying that the reaction to Christina's video was absolutely abysmal. Our community needs to do better because there's absolutely no reason why she should be facing so much harassment for such a necessary conversation. Christina, I am sorry. You and other black women and black femmes deserve better. Riding in on the coattails of this conversation, I also want to discuss how this dynamic often still exists even within households with 2 black parents. And that's because of the unfortunate pillar in our respective black communities that is colorism. Christina speaks on how black moms are often like the gatekeepers of black culture. They're the ones that foster it within our homes. And how that baseline respect for black women, culture, etc. is often missing from people who are biracial and raised by their white or non-black parents. So much so that we can all basically tell when someone's got a white mama. But I think the same exact thing is often true for when someone has a light-skinned mother, or particularly moms that look like Trudy Proud here. Other examples include the green-eyed bandits from Real Housewives. If we're keeping it a bean, for a lot of light-skinned black people, colorism is the entire legacy. And it's also a culture that's largely fostered in the home. I think we need to start being honest about how there's largely different sensibilities between light-skinned and dark-skinned black people, and how that often leads to either subtle or blatantly overt forms of violence within our own community. A lot of us, the first brush we had with colorism was literally in our homes. I think we can all remember the viral clip from Where the Campbells in which Krista Campbell literally has to explain to her grown mother the violence of colorism that she's experiencing. And again, I need to emphasize that this goes beyond the beauty politics, right? This is a child that has to age herself significantly to meet her mother at the adult level to explain the violence she's experiencing. No baby should have to go through that. And that happens to so many brown and dark-skinned black girls that happen to have a light-skinned mother and a dark-skinned father that reinforces the dynamic of colorism. Especially when we're getting into the awful topic about preferences that has been running rampant on Twitter in this past week. These things need to be unpacked. Y'all are harming people that you consider your family. Reframing violence as a preference to skirt accountability is just foul. You deserve to be flogged in this plane and the next. I'm personally of the opinion that if you are not actively working on unpacking colorism, then you are probably a colorist. In the same way how non-black people not actively working on their anti-blackness are probably anti-black. Because this shit is so rampant within all of our communities that that's the only way I can tackle this. I love us, but literally we gotta get it to fucking together.
So you know how we be kikiing that there's a difference between white mama biracials and black mama biracials, right?
I gotta clean this sink again. So this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but I just didn't know how to start the conversation. But of course, the black woman did, so thank you to my good sis. But for real, in biracial couples, and I can only speak from the black narrative, there's a big difference when you have a black mom or a white dad and a black dad. The difference being that usually when you have a black mom in an interracial relationship, the black mom is very good about making sure that the child knows about both sides of their ness, if you will. Whereas oftentimes the black dad kind of just assimilates to whatever culture he's with at that time. Not always, but typically. Now, of course, you should watch her entire video so you can understand the contents of what she's saying, but this happens far too often within my community, at least. It's like black women are just inherently more proud of the culture. And I know me personally, I've learned more about my culture from black women than black men. But it just seems that majority of black women are more willing to educate and teach people about us than black men. And this is more so prevalent, like, let's say if the mom is black and the dad is Mexican, we'll know about both the black and Mexican ancestry. But if, like, the dad is black and the mom is Mexican, sometimes you know more about your Hispanic heritage. And that has a lot to do with because a lot of times family traditions are passed on through women in many cultures. But this phenomena is really only evident primarily within like white and black mixes. So like if you got a black daddy and a white mom, for whatever reason, black men have this desire to assimilate to white culture so much that they're willing to forego their own just to, you know, either bag a white woman or for just pure white acceptance. Which I will never understand. I changed my top because for whatever reason, me and the leopard were not getting along. But a major reason that black dads in interracial relationships don't teach their kids about their blackness is almost a form of, like, they don't like their own culture and they don't like black women. So they don't want their kids to have anything to do with black women. Which again, what? Y'all still niggas, so chill out. There's still a lot of history behind this conversation, and this phenomena continues to happen even in this day and age. Key to solving this crisis is to teach those kids about both sides of their heritage and then letting them decide which one they want to affiliate with more as adults. But I don't have kids, so I don't know. I mean, I know what I'm talking about. Bye.
There's a difference between white mama biracials and black mama biracials, right?
Okay, so I feel like in addition to like the historical sociological context that she talks about, there's also very much the fact that like when a black man and a white woman are dating, they both have something to gain in a sense. Like he is gaining access to whiteness through her. He gets a seat at the white man's table, literally because of this white woman. And she gets a seat at the man's table because basically when you are a black man dating a white woman, you have to worship her, you have to treat her well. First of all, to maintain your access to white society, but second and more importantly, because anything you do wrong could very well end in your death. Like, at the worst ending your death, at the best ending like jail time. So they both have something to gain by being with one another. So he can ignore his blackness. He can ignore his blackness for the sake of having that access to whiteness. And so because she has no in touch with blackness at all, their children grow up identifying specifically as half black. They're like, oh, are you biracial? Are you black? No, I'm half black. It's different. To them, they see it very, very differently. They're only half black because their mom is white and their dad is black, and their dad is barely black because he is not in tune with his blackness at all due to trying to maintain his status within the white man's world. And then with black women, even though other people sometimes when they get into relationship with white men, like the outside world will try to strip them of their blackness, there's really no way to strip a black woman of her blackness. It is an inherent part of her womanness, like, because being a black woman is a very different experience from being a white woman. We all know this. But so, like, she is black. She is black and her man is white, sure, but like when you are raised in the context of one of your parents being black, you then understand that you are also black, and it changes your view on the world and it changes how you interact with other people versus a kid who's never really considered that they're black because sure, their dad is black, but their mom...
And the truth is that that brown skin girl, I mean the first lady that, that said about men, like black men getting married to like white lady, they see it as a revolutionary and all that. She actually made so much point, and she is not even lying. Everything she actually said is on point. And it's kind of sad that, people are kind of trying to attack her for saying the truth and all that. Guys, let me tell you all something. You all know what you're doing, especially those that got married to a white woman. They cannot afford, especially the men. They let go of their culture, and then the kids grow and start dangling between, like, because they ain't learning anything from the man's side. But women are always, I mean, a black woman is always and very much ready to, even if she's like, married to a white man or something, ready to inculcate her culture into the child. Like, it's so easy. But the man said, no, I know. Yeah, this is where I'm going to draw the curtain today. And thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate you. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.